Hello, hi, welcome. Hope you can hear me. So, welcome to yet another session of Ask Me Anything under Ayurveda, the world as doshas. Here I always say that you have the moment we start seeing the world as doshas, as Vata Pitta Kapha, it becomes very simple for us. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about hyperacidity, and it is something which all of us, a lot of us, face nowadays. I there's not even a single day in my practice, where I go through without seeing even one patient without hyperacidity. Most of them have got hyperacidity in some form or the other, and it's something which I thought would be interesting if I just handle that and see how Ayurveda looks at hyperacidity. Okay, so let's start. So these are the weekly sessions which we do it every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay, you can ask me questions. It need not be, even though the topic is about hyperacidity, you can ask me questions about other things also which you have got in mind. And to my ability, I'll try to answer those. Okay, so Ayurveda and hyperacidity. So let's see what Ayurveda says about hyper. This is a very, very interesting thing, hyperacidity or in Ayurveda, because as we get into that, you'll know. So hyperacidity in Ayurveda, the closest word which we can see is Amlapitta. Okay, there is a condition called Amlapitta which has been mentioned, a diseased condition, Amlapitta, which by looking at the symptoms we can basically say that it is hyperacidity. Okay, so what is the meaning of Amla Pitta? Amla means sour and Pitta means Pitta, or the digestive fire, the bile and all those things, whatever digestive juices you have got in your tummy, when that becomes sour and it gets burnt and it gets displaced from its normal place. Its normal place, the digestive juices and all those things are in the tummy, and when it gets displaced, okay, it is basically called Amlapitta. Okay, and Pitta here is basically the Pachaka Pitta, or the digestive fire, and its main job is to digest the food, separate it, and then separate into the nutritious part and the part which has to be eliminated. Okay, so Amla Pitta is something which is it's a very interesting thing. Okay, so the history of Amla Pitta. This is something very very interesting which I would want to touch upon. If you look at the what we call the Brihatrays, or the older texts like Charaka, Sushruta, or Vagbhata, there is no reference to a disease Amlapitta. But when we came to later stages of Madhava Nidana, I think that's where the first time Amlapitta has been mentioned. It's somewhere around the 12th century. So what happened? Lifestyle changes happened over a period of time. So we suppose that people were extremely disciplined in the olden stages, in the older days, and they did not suffer Amlapitta as a disease. Even though conditions like Daha, burning and all those things have been mentioned, a disease called Amlapitta was never mentioned in those old texts. But in the newer text, you see this diseased Amlapitta, and that I suppose, or all of us feel, that it is because of the change in lifestyle, which slowly started creeping in. And now, in this century, it's been really bad with, different kinds of work, different kinds of people flying to different parts of the world, and all kinds of food people eating, and nightlife and all those things. Things have changed. Hyperacidity has actually gone up. Okay. So let us get to the classification of Amlapitta. Amlapitta is basically classified as two. One is Urdhvagata, that is the upward. You have got this excess of pitta here, acid here, and when it starts coming up and you feel the burning sensation in the chest area and all up to the throat, we call that Urdhvagata. Urdhva means up, gata means going. Okay, and then the next one opposite of that is Adhogata. That means you have got the burning sensation towards the lower part of the gut. Upper part of the gut is Urdhvagata and lower part of the gut is Adhogata. Okay. Now, what are the major reasons for it? Causative factors. Ahara means the food. Viruddhahara. Viruddhahara means incompatible food. We see that lot of people have started mixing a lot of food. They are trying to experiment with a lot of things, and they mix a lot of food which are not compatible or which the body is not able to digest properly, and so the pitta gets displaced and it starts coming up. So that is one major reason for Amlapitta. Another thing is excessive consumption of sour food, especially for people in India. If you look at people who eat a lot of fish, they make it spicy and they add a lot of sour. It could be tamarind or other in Malayalam we call the kodampuli, or the round in shape, gambuchi, that they add that and make it extremely sour for people, and it's not very healthy. And what spicy food, people have started consuming a lot of spicy food. And in India, normally we traditionally have pepper, which never used to cause so much of spicy burnings, but chili came from different parts of the world, and things have changed. And then what? Vidahi. Vidahi is something which can cause burning sensation or after going inside. The best example is alcohol. Consumption of alcohol has gone up. And even nightlife has gone up. People stay awake at night and they start drinking. Drinking has become a big problem for that. That's another reason for Amlapitta. And Vihara is your lifestyle. And when you look at Sukhina means somebody who is sedentary, who refuses to do exercise. How much he knows that he has to do exercise, but he doesn't do exercise. People who are sedentary. And what? Ratri Jagara, people who stay awake at night. Night duties have gone up of late. People work on different time zones. In India, a lot of people work US timings. They stay awake at night and they sleep during the day. Those people have got a chance of getting Amlapitta. And then Upavasa. Upavasa is not the systematic fasting which we follow, but erratic sometimes. They miss meals. That is one major thing. They're so busy in meetings, they say okay, they skip the food, and then when they eat the wrong kind of food. So all those things add to Amlapitta disease. Okay, so how do we manage this? So management is of two ways. One is Shodhana and one is Shamana. Shodhana actually means removing it. When you cleanse it, we call it Shodhana. And when you pacify it, okay, we actually call it, what do we call, Shamana. Okay. I see a comment, Rama Jayanti. Can't you see or hear me? It's just a question. Can you hear me and see me? Can somebody respond, please? Okay, so Shodhana or Shamana? Thank you, Hira, because I saw a comment that okay. So Arvind, I think you were able to hear me for the past 6-7 minutes since I started, right, Arvind? Okay, nice. So Shodhana and Shamana are two ways in which we handle it. Shodhana is if you have got too much of acidity, too much of doshas, we call that. Okay, when you have got too much of doshas and the patient has got a lot of strength, we prefer Shodhana. That means removing the doshas. And Shamana is basically when the disease is not so chronic and you don't have too much of doshas, plus the patient does not have too much of strength. Then what we do is we do Shamana, or we pacify it. Okay, so let's see how we do it. Okay, so Shodhana. So when the condition is chronic, excess doshas are there and the patient has strength. And Shamana in mild conditions, when there are less doshas and the patient is weak. Okay, so let us see how do we do that. Okay, now there is something also, what we say, the prognosis of this. Prognosis is something, when it is extremely chronic, then they say that it is not completely curable. It is only something which you can manage. But new cases, that's the reason why we say when you have got an issue, the first thing you have to do is to see a physician and get it handled. Okay, the moment it starts getting chronic, then it becomes very difficult to handle this. And when it is new and when the doshas are actually very little, Amlapitta is something which we can handle it very, very easily. Okay, so this is basically about Amlapitta. If you have got any questions, you can start asking me. You can type your questions and I can start answering those. Okay, any questions we can. Because of late, I have been seeing so many cases, people coming with acidity. Even sleeping position is a problem. People sit and sleep, they are sleep deprived. Sleep deprived is one thing which will increase the heat of the body. Okay, so when you sleep at night, sleep increases, sleep basically puts the metabolism to the minimum. Okay, but when you have your dinner and then you sit and watch a movie or Netflix late into the night, and then when you don't sleep properly, you see that the heat going up, and that actually is really bad for your condition. Okay, so any questions regarding Amlapitta, hyperacidity, or anything else? Normally, one medicine which most people use is a powder called Avipattikara Churnam. Okay, it actually induces a little bit of soft bowels and it is cooling to the body. Okay, and it is extremely cooling to the body. That reduces your pitta. And ghee is something which is, it is one thing which has always helped me to handle Amlapitta. I can vouch on ghee. The moment you start giving ghee, the right ghee at the right time, in the right doses, you can see the acidity slowly go down. Okay, yeah. The first question is from Hira. Doctor, what is the correct sleeping position? There is a shloka which comes, it is from the Subhashitam. It says, Midam bhuktva shatam japtva gata shatapadam vama bhage shayanascha bhishadbhik kim prayojanam. I'll give you the meaning of it, okay? Mitam bhuktva. Bhuktva means after eating. Mitam means little bit. After eating little bit, mitam bhuktva shatam japtva. Shatam japtva means after you pray a little bit. That means wait for some time. Wait for some time. Then gata shatapadam. Walk 100 steps. Okay. After that, what do you do? Vama bhage shayanasya. If you sleep on your left side, okay, if you sleep on your left side, bhishadbhik kim prayojanam. Then there is, what is the use of it? That means you don't need a doctor at all. So most of the people, even modern science says that the best position to sleep is onto your left side, so that digestion also is not interrupted. Okay. Next question is from Kavita. I get burning sensation in my throat and burping when I eat food which has red chilies or black pepper in it, but not when it has green chilies in the food. Any suggestions, doctor? So I I don't think why you get burning sensations when there is pepper in it. I'm no, it is not very common. So probably you might be somebody who is by and large got a heat body. Okay, pitta is by and large on the higher side. So that's the reason why you get this. And if pepper is something which is actually good for the body. Okay, property wise also it is not atyushnam, it is not very hot to the body. So you might be going wrong in other things also, like very little physical activity or staying awake at night. This also might be there, Kavita, I don't know. If these are there, that those things you have to cut down. Okay, so and if your digestion is not right, you've got too much of gas, so when you burp, what happens is you might be getting that acid thing. But I would say it's always good for you to cut down on chili. It can be even if it is red chili or green chili, over the period of time probably you might start getting acid. So I don't think it is actually good for you. Cut down on chili consumption. Just because pepper is good, don't over consume that also. Okay, let me see what the next question. Hira, can you please, the name of the churna is Avipatti Kara Churna. Okay, Avipatti Churnam, Avipatti Kara Churnam. Okay, and next question is Aravind. Okay, reflux. Okay, IBS and other similar issues of the gut be correlated? No, there is another condition called, GERD probably you can say when you have got gastro reflux, but if you look at IBS is somewhere, where you don't, sometimes you pass loose motion, sometimes you are constipated, and you eat food and you feel like passing motions. But very rarely in IBS you find people with burning sensations. It's more of food. The moment you eat, you feel like passing motions. And there is one other condition in Ayurveda called Grahani. Grahani Roga we call Grahana. See, Grahana, you would have heard of Surya Grahana, Chandra Grahana. Okay, eclipses. Grahana basically means holding it. So when the moon holds the sun, when it covers the sun, we call it Grahana. So same thing, Grahani Roga is basically holding. Okay, just like the moon held the sun, we want the body to hold the food. So when the food is not being able to be held, it is called Grahani Roga. Okay, the moment you eat food, you feel like passing motions. So IBS can be probably classified under Grahani Roga, and GERD can be classified under Amlapitta. Okay. Now, Divya, can you please talk on milk and hyperacidity? What are other home remedies to avoid or pacify hyperacidity? See, if you look property-wise, milk is actually a very, very, very good substance to handle Amlapitta. But many people, I have noticed of late that a lot of people have got lactose intolerance. And when I start looking at the textbooks, they say a pitta prakriti person, that a person who's got too much of pitta, too much of heat in the body. Okay, if he consumes milk, he will pass soft bowels. That is probably direct. It looks like it is directly correlated with lactose intolerance. And when you look out right now, most of the people are extremely anxious. They are agitated. They are angry. They are ready to catch up a fight. Too much of rajas out there in the market right now, in the society. So I personally feel that by and large, more people have got too much of pitta in the system. And people who have got too much of pitta in the system, as I said, will definitely pass soft bowels after drinking milk. So I don't want to say that lactose intolerance is not there. That also might be there. But if you notice that you have got a lot of heat in the body, you drink milk, you will pass soft bowels. Okay. Apart from milk, I would say ghee is the best thing to manage hyperacidity. Okay, and if you've got too much of burning sensation, you can boil dhania, gold dhania we call. Okay, that is coriander seeds in water and drink that water. That actually brings your body heat down. Rice cooked with milk is very good for hyperacidity. Okay. Yes, Kavita, you are a Pitta Vata person. That could be one reason why small amounts of pepper also might actually be burning for you. Hari Haran, eating roasted peanuts with its skin would still cause Pitta. What can be eaten to immediately reduce Pitta to overcome getting headache due to that? Okay. See, if you are somebody who gets the reason for that is also because of the gas that is being generated. Okay, so eating roasted peanuts with its skin need not, in my opinion, a peanut is something which increases the vata a little bit more. So the headache which you get because of by eating peanut need not be, could be, but need not be because of pitta. It also could be because the stomach gets bloated and you feel that, that indigestion feeling, and you might be getting a headache. Okay, so I would say after you consume the peanuts, you just drink might be a glass of hot water, which will actually help you it'll basically help you relieve that gassy feeling. I would say that would be the best thing for you to do. Hariharan. Are peanuts inflammatory? Peanuts, by and large, it is grown under the earth, so when it is taken raw, there are people who eat it raw also. Eating raw will actually it is not very easy for it to digest. So two ways of having it: you can roast it, okay, or you can steam cook it. I would say steam cooked peanut is would be better for you to consume rather than consuming it extremely roasted, because roasted makes it even more drier and vata increasing. But when it is steam cooked, it does not make it so much of vata increasing because of the presence of water in it. Okay. Ritucharya in summer season. Okay, I can talk about Ritucharya in summer season. It's not very elaborate. Okay, I'll touch the main important points. But Hira, for your kind information, I think summer is past in Kerala, and I don't know which part of India you are. Probably up north, it might be still hot. So very important thing. Okay, patu kattu amlas tejet. Very important thing. Okay, patu katu amlas tejet. Patu is salt, katu is spicy, and amla is sour. Tejet means avoid. Patu kattu amlas tejet. Grishma ritu. Okay, in summer ritus, patu kattu amlas tejet. Avoid these three things. Okay. Snigdha madhura bhojanam. Have food which is oily. So probably this is one season where you can not in excess, where you can have puris, okay, in the morning. But don't overdo it. Okay, snigdha means oily, madhura is sweet. Okay, so that doesn't mean a laddu or a jalebi or pastries. Rice is sweet, wheat is sweet, okay, ghee is sweet, milk is sweet. So whatever is sweet to taste, you can have. Don't have it in excess. Then what? Vyayamas arkas tyajet. Avoid exercise and overexposure to sun. So when I say avoid exercise, that doesn't mean that you have to, don't take it in face value that you have to completely avoid exercise. But you have to note that in those days, because a text was written about 3,000, 4,000 years back, you should understand that in those days, whatever activity they had to do, they had to probably do it themselves. They had to walk, do all those activities, and if at all they had to powder, so they everything was physical labor. So they had a lot of body movements even in summer. So they meant that is enough for you. You don't have to even indulge in exercise. Okay, so don't do that in summers. But nowadays, because we are extremely sedentary and we are always in the air-conditioned room, most people, I would say, reduce the amount of exercise you do in summer. Do it very mild. Okay, so follow these simple things in summer and stay healthy. Hyderabad Hira. Yeah, Hyderabad is, but I heard that Hyderabad got a few rains and it is slowly cooling down, right? Yep. So, any other question? Okay. Next question, Hariharan. What is the proper way of taking oil bath so as to reduce high pitta? Okay, and how many times a week is recommended for reducing body heat? Abhyangam acharit nityam. Hariharan. Abhyangam acharit nityam. Abhyangam is oil bath. Acharit is follow. Nityam means every day. Okay. So theoretically speaking, every day. Because I have seen my grandfather take an oil bath every day and he was healthy till he passed away at the age of 96. He just passed away like that. So those days people used to do that. Nowadays we say we are too busy and we start doing it probably once a week or rarely. What happens? Some people only apply oil on the head only once a year, Deepavali, for Holi, So it's really bad. So application of oil has to be done on a daily basis. So if you are a Pitta Prakriti person, okay. So for a Pitta Prakriti person, you can select the right kind of oil. Okay, it can be Dhanantram Thailam, or it can also be Chandranadi Thailam. You can apply on the body, wait for about 45 minutes, and then take bath in warm water. Don't take bath in hot water. Okay, that might not be good for you. And you also have to see that you never pour hot water on your head, because that is not good for your hair or for your eyes. Okay, leave the oil for about 45 minutes, rub it gently, leave it for 45 minutes, and then take a normal shower. But especially you have to see that the kinds of food you eat, Hariharan, to keep the pitta down. Okay. Okay, so Vallari, where is it? Okay. I had fever, a few issues recently and have had taken some allopathic medicines. I think they were all a bit powerful and antibiotics, so I could be very weak after. So after I got, okay. So you basically got a mouth ulcer. It will, see, it will slowly settle, but I would say you should focus on having some really good bland food rather than indulging in anything spicy. Okay. Even though people think curd is good, I would not recommend curd. You can have a little bit of buttermilk. The best thing for you to do is, just like we make kheer. You can actually boil milk, boil rice in milk, and then have that. We call that palanam. We call in Malayalam. Okay, if you can have that, that is actually the best thing for you to recover pretty fast. Okay. How much ghee should be taken? Ghee is something is that the consumption of ghee is directly related to the amount you can digest. First thing, okay, Sarita. So normally when a patient starts with ghee, we have got ghee when we are intending to cleanse the system. The amount of ghee we give is different, but when you are trying to pacify it, the amount of ghee we give is different. It can be somewhere around 15 to 20 ml, Sarita. You can take it at bedtime or early in the morning. That also depends upon the condition. Okay, so if you want to reduce your pitta or your burning sensation, you can have it after dinner at bedtime, followed by half a glass of hot milk. Because if we don't drink something hot on top of ghee, it will leave a coating in the mouth, which is a discomfort. So that hot milk will also help it digest. Drink it and go to bed, aram se, and you will feel much better. Okay. Yeah. Well, Shishta, that's what you were telling about It was due to the heat generated by the antibiotics possible. That's why I said palanam, palchore in Malayalam, palanam. You can boil rice in milk, add a little bit of water and in milk and consume that, in the morning, and that will actually help you. If you want to add something sweetener, you can add also kalkanda into it and have it. That will actually bring your body heat down. Apply oil on your head, on your body, and take a shower in warm water and not in hot water. Don't take anything spicy, salty, or sour food for some days. Okay, give it some time, it will automatically heal. Okay, some call it Pythim. It is Pitta, not Pythim. It is because of the Pitta. That's why it is. You feel the heat, Malari. How should we? Why should you eat amla with salt? Okay. Okay, it is just like you might have heard of haritaki or amla. Okay, amalaki pancharasam. Okay, sheetam pancharasam alavanam. So amalaki is Indian gooseberry or amla, which we have got 6 states: Madura, Amla, Lavana, Katu, Tikta, Kasha. These are 6 states which are there in the world, and Amla has got 5 tastes except salt. Okay, that is the reason why to make it, and it is considered to be the best rasayani. Rasayani means a nourisher. So to make it complete, when we say about, see, this is basically, Ashwin, I am telling you have to consume, when you're consuming amla as food. Okay, when you're consuming it as medicine, a different rule applies. Okay, because rasapradhanam aharam. When your aharam is food, when you're eating food, pradhanam means importance. You give more to the taste. Okay, and virya pradhanam aushadam. And when you look, when you're consuming something as medicine, then you give more importance to virya or potency. Okay, so amla, when you're consuming it as food, and when you want to make it a nourisher, we are focusing more on its taste. Okay, so you add salt to it, little bit of salt, so that you make it a complete food. Okay, Ashwin? Is having milk with some nutmeg, pepper, turmeric, cardamom, almond at night good? I have a pitta dominant prakriti. If you have got a pitta dominant prakriti, I would say just add a spoon of ghee into your milk and have it. Turmeric, we have seen that a lot during Corona time. Golden milk. In my opinion, don't overdo it, because turmeric is not cold to the body; it is extremely hot. Okay, after a point of time, as I said, it's all cumulative. You take it for some time, it's fine. But if you keep on doing it for years together, months together, you will see that it starts generating a lot of heat. So don't indulge in any of those things. Mix a little bit of ghee in your milk and have it, Aravind. Okay. What happens when oil is applied on the skin? Okay. Abhyangamajirit nityam sa jarashrama vataha. It basically, what it's been said is vata. I don't know whether you understand what I mean by vata. See, when we are born, there is kapha, pitta, and vata. We are born kapha, and then pitta stage, and then the last stage of our life is vata stage. That is where we are predominantly space and vayu. So as we are going towards death, that means we are denourished, and our body is going towards death. Okay, so skin starts losing its luster. Everything happens. Jara, we call that. Okay, that means you're aging. So if you start applying oil, I don't say there's no point, but you should start applying oil early in life and keep on continuing it. The moment you say you've crossed 50, 60, and you see, I see a little bit of aging, and then you start applying oil, you will see results. But these results of something if it is something which has to be practiced since childhood and should be continued all the way to your old age. So skin, if you look at the skin has got this peculiar capacity to absorb something which has oil base. I don't say it doesn't absorb water too much, but it has got more affinity towards absorbing something which has got oil base. So applying oil will actually help improve your skin, lot of other things. So it has got a lot of benefits. And also when you do that massage, your blood supply, and sometimes when you let other people, when you do a real proper massage, you see, as we keep on working, sitting in the computer, you'll feel a lot of strain and stress here. Knots come, all those knots can be removed by an oil massage. Can jaggery be added to palanam for this, or is it? See, jaggery, there's a problem with jaggery. Jaggery increases kapha. Okay, and it is very, 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 it can increase sliminess. So I would not recommend jaggery. It is always good if you can add kalkhanda, we call that, right? Rock sugar. That would be better, but don't overdo it. Can we use Dhanvantaram tablets for hyperacidity? Hyperacidity, if it is because your gas is there and it's pushing you up, then probably Dhanvantaram tablets, yes, will work really well for hyperacidity. It works really well, but there are other things, we have got something called Vayu Gulika also, which works really well. And if you go to the market, you have got a tablet which the companies come out, it's called Neutral, N-U-T-R-A-L, where the main ingredient is Shankha Bhasma. Shankha is conch. Okay, it's made of so it's basically calcium. The moment it goes inside your calcium, it neutralizes the acid. If you need fast action, okay. See, Hariharan, yes, Bala is one of the best medicines considered to be reducing Vata. And you want to use Bala, you can actually make an oil in Bala and use it for body application. Okay, Bala Thailam is very good. Bala Thailam basically promotes strength and it controls Vata to the maximum. Okay, and then or else what you can do is Bala, we also add Bala, boil Bala in milk and consume that milk. It gives you strength. So Bala can be used in different ways. You can make Thaila also. When you make that oil, you can also add a little bit of milk into it, and you can make Kshira Bala Thailam also. So Bala can be used in different forms. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, but just because it is available at home, I don't want you to use it as medicine. Okay. I have a naturally frizzy and dry hair. So naturally frizzy hair, in the sense, it is something which is natural, will always have its strength. In the sense, if you are naturally good at something, you will always have, that will always dominate. Let me put that very clear here. Okay. So if you have got a frizzy hair and it is dry and you want to basically set it proper, the only way I would say is to basically give it a little bit of lubrication, oiling. Okay, two ways: one, external application of oil, and second, from inside also. Okay, so if your oil is frizzy, if your hair is frizzy and dry, that means there is a high probability that your other part of your body or your gut is also dry. Okay, your scalp is also dry. So only application of oil on top will not help you. It is always good for you to consume some medicated ghee or only cow's ghee, so that after a point of time, the whole skin also starts getting lubricated. You need that lubrication. Ghee does not digest fully for me. What should I do? Okay, Ashwin Kumar, I would say, many times what happens is, I have noticed this, where people in Tamil Nadu and all, they come and say, even in Andhra, people say that ghee, I'm feeling heavy with ghee. So when I look at the source, sometimes I see that the ghee is from buffalo. Okay, just check the source of your ghee. Okay, if you are buying from a market, like from the market, a branded ghee, there would be a lot of buffalo ghee also in it. But if you have got somebody who is a known source and go for desi ghee, I would say that I don't think it might have. You might have so much of difficulty in digesting desi ghee. If you find that, then you have to probably do something to get your agni. You have to get your digestive power slightly improved. Okay, and don't take too much if you feel it's not digesting. What is gond katira good for health? I don't know what gond katira is. I'm sorry, Sarita. Bhanu Pratap. My age is 23. My body is shrinking and growth of my body is reduced so much that I look like an old person. If 18 and I used to be very. My head size also reduced. I think it is always good for you to consult someone, okay, and see what is going wrong. Probably in my opinion, your absorption has been affected. Whatever food you're eating, if your appetite is good, whatever food you're eating is not getting properly absorbed into the system. So it is always good for you to consult a good doctor and see why. See, I see that the glow and all those things have gone down, but why is it going down? So let us not address the symptom. Let us see what is going wrong. Okay, Bhanu Pratap. Shadrasas has to be taken on a daily basis. How to ensure this? Yes, Shadrasas are the 6 tastes. Okay, and it's always good that if you consume that on a daily basis, and you don't have to be too stressed about it. In Ayurveda, a balanced diet is a diet which contains all the 6 tastes. Okay, so we say Madhura, Amla, Lavana, Tikta, Katuka. So you start with sweet, and when you say sweet doesn't mean a kheer or a laddu or a jalebi. Okay, rice itself is sweet. Rice and ghee is sweet. Okay, let us not get confused. So when you mix rice and ghee in the beginning, you already started with ghee, and then you add a little bit of dal. Dal is also sweet. Okay, then probably you might go for something like a sambar or something, which is sour. Okay, and then slowly you might go up to something like, then you have got all these vegetables. Okay, then you add a little bit of salt or whatever it is. Then you go for rasam. Rasam is spicy, and then you end your meal with buttermilk mixing in rice, and buttermilk is kashaya, the astringent taste. Okay, so if you look at most parts of India, we have actually programmed our food eating in such a way that it is shadrasas by and large. So don't get too confused and don't get too stressed about it. Eat traditional food; it will contain almost all the tastes. Yeah, Bhanu Pratap, I see that. Okay, I think it's your wound also takes a long time to heal. I think it's always good for you to consult somebody. Okay. A2 milk is considered sattvic. A2 milk is basically it's the name which they have given. A2 milk, A1 milk, and all those things. A2 milk, in my opinion, is the desi cow. Desi cow is sattvic, absolutely no doubt about it. And A1 cow might be the Jersey. Okay, it's a joke, but my guru says, why do you want to drink milk from the Jersey? I asked Jersey cow. He said no. Jersey. Then I again asked, Jersey cow? He said, Jersey, He said, Jersey cannot be considered as a cow. It's a huge animal which looks like a cow but gives milk, But probably, as you said, yeah, it can be considered. But buffalo's milk is also medicine, So I don't know where to put the A1 milk. Okay, it could be tamasic. Castor oil, please mention its use and application. Does this reduce both pitta and vata? Okay, castor oil is actually warm in potency, and it is slimy. So it actually decreases vata. Okay, and it decreases kapha also a little bit, but it does not have too much of effect on pitta. It increases pitta a little bit, Harihar. Okay. Eno gives immediate relief, but is it good? Eno is something which it's an antacid. Okay, it immediately doushes the fire. See, everything, as I said, Rama Jayanti, if you keep on using something over a period of time, it really becomes bad. In emergency, you have used it once, it's fine. but don't make it an habit. You should see why are you getting that indigestion or acidity, and you should be able to handle that. Okay. Coffee, yes, coffee is acidic in nature. It will increase acidity. Okay. Oh, okay. Edible gum. So what was the question? Is edible gum healthy? Is what was the question? Um, Edible gum. Why do you want to take edible gum? Okay, I don't think. See, edible gum, if it is very sticky, it might take a long time to digest. So that will definitely affect your agni. So anything which takes a longer time to digest, and if it does not, see, for example, if you take jackfruit, okay, you take a fruit, it goes inside, it takes a longer time to digest, but still it promotes strength. But if an edible gum, if it takes a longer time to, if it does not give you any strength or something, it doesn't have any nutritional value, then I don't know why you should be consuming it. Okay. Okay. You're applying henna and it makes your tooth. Yeah. So I don't see any Ayurvedic or herbal hair color is henna plus what do you call that? We call it neeli. Okay. So a mixture of that, probably gives you black color, but anything which is chemical will only give you that permanent dye color on your hair. Natural things have got its own limitations. Okay. So you have to find something which will give you that. So normally, herbal colors don't last, and you have to keep on applying every 15 days, and sometimes it becomes too much of a nuisance. But yes, it is a healthier thing to apply henna, and on top of that, when you apply that indigo powder, it actually gives that black color. Okay, I don't think that is too drying, but in your condition, as I said, your lubrications also come from within. Is curd acidic? Okay, curd by and large, direct, yes, because you have it, the way it is formed itself is acid. You have got that lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria acting on it and makes it acidic. Then buttermilk also is acidic, but the difference is that curd is so thick and it is heavy that it's not easy to digest. But buttermilk, after you churn the curd, once you remove the butter, what remains is buttermilk, and it is light and it's easier to digest. So I would say, buttermilk is basically healthier than curd. I don't know what is Nei Uruvi. Hariharan, I don't know what is Nei Uruvi. Okay. Please say how to use it. It might be a local name, Nei Uruvi. Are you from Tamil Nadu? As available abundantly here. Manu Pratap, yes, I see that. I would still say, I don't know what is going wrong with you. Probably a consultation might help. Okay. What does Ayurveda recommend to take first in the... Okay, Hariharan, what does Ayurveda recommend to take first in the morning on empty stomach and also at last before going to sleep? First thing in the morning is to drink a little bit of warm water, and last thing what you can take at night is a glass of cow's milk. Okay. Cow's milk does not induce sleep, but if you're somebody who sleeps really well, cow's milk will see that you stay sleeping. Okay, so that's the reason why we say drink milk at bedtime, so that if your sleep is uninterrupted. But if you have got sleeping issues, then the best thing for you to consume is milk, but not cow's milk, it is buffalo's milk. Okay, Hariharan. Saritana, it has cooling effects, the gum, I understand. Hira, but do you teach? I have taught in a college from 2004 to 2016 years. I have taught in a college. maybe about hundreds and hundreds of students have become BMS graduates. I teach them in the third year, Dravya Guna. Okay. Yes, Ashwin Kumar. Thank you so much, Doctor. It's a brilliant idea to conduct an AMA every week. Yes. And I think I love it too. You know, more and more people participate. It's lovely. Edible gum while making laddus. I think they have started. I don't know whether they used to use that edible gum when they used to make laddus before, or is it right now? I don't know. I don't want to talk on something which I don't know, Kavita. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'll probably look up and then try to see how it acts on the body and whether it's healthy or not. Sorry about that, Kavita. Okay. So I think we have come to the end of session. It's almost 1 hour, 52 minutes. So it was nice. So see you next week. You can give me a recommendation as what you want me to talk on. You can send me a message on my Instagram. I'll start picking up topics. Okay. Last question, Hariharan. Okay. I see a question. Taking milk would increase kapha, so anything can be added to remove the kapha formation. Anything else other than milk to help getting good sleep? Okay, that's the reason why, Hariharan, I said cow's milk. Okay, cow's milk, even though it is, we don't say cow's milk is light, but cow's milk is slightly not that heavy also, and cow's milk does not increase kapha too much. I don't say does not increase. As I said, it does not increase kapha too much. And if you feel that cow's milk is increasing your kapha a little bit more, then you dilute the milk and have it. Okay. So, Rama Jayanti, last thing. Okay. Please sum up and tell us how to manage acidity. It's very, very, very important to see. When you look at Ayurveda, handling anything is at 3 levels. Ahara, Vihara, Aushadha. Ahara means food, Vihara means lifestyle, Aushadha means medical. Okay, approaching it medically. So it can be medicines or treatment. So first thing what you have to do is, so that's the reason in order of importance, extreme importance has been given to Ahara, your food, and Vihara is your lifestyle. And then if necessary, we have to give medicines. Hope that is clear. So first very important thing is your food. I would say just see which area you belong to and what is your normal food, what your father had, your grandfather had, your great-grandfather, all of them ate the food, your traditional food, and they were healthy. Stick to traditional food. Okay. Once in a while, eating here and there is fine, but otherwise stick to something which is traditional. Don't overeat food. Most important thing is that there's something called adhyasana. Eating food before the previous food is digested. That means snacking in between is really bad. Don't consume over spicy, sour or salty food. Food is done. And then, again, alcohol consumption. I can't say don't drink, but you should be very much aware as to that you are drinking something which is vidahi, which can increase the pitta. Okay, be aware. Next, lifestyle. You should be exercising. You should sleep early. Staying awake at night is the worst thing you can do. Okay, exercising immediately after food is not good for you. Taking a shower immediately after food is also not good for you. Okay, medicines, then the treatment can go long and long, but if you follow these things, you can keep acidity at bay. Okay. Drinking water from copper vessel. Okay, copper vessel has been told for us to drink water, but it's always, if you compare and see, I would give preference to mud pot rather than to copper. Okay, give more preference to mud because that is more natural than copper. Pot would what do you call mud pot? Earthen pot is much better. If you want to, you can transfer it into a copper glass and drink it. Yes, it is actually it is good for the water. It keeps all the doshas under control. It is good to drink in copper vessel. Okay, if you want to look for the best is golden vessel. If you can afford, you can have it in a golden glass also. Okay, so good night, and I'll see you next Tuesday with some other topic. Okay. Good night.